We are day 206. We've got the whole band with us today. Powerful one, the immaculate one, spiritual one, and of course me, the one. How y'all doing today?
Good.
I don't feel good.
Yeah, Corey's not feeling receptive today. All right, he's he's on the outside looking in. We need to get him some pick me up. Corey, you
I
need some
feel
pick me up.
fantastic because I'm on day 5 of Master Cleanse, so I feel great.
Hold on. Now this cleanse. What are we speaking about?
So you do like some vegan for like 3 or 4 days, maybe a week to lead into it, and then you start having only fresh squeezed lemon and maple syrup and cayenne juice or water. You mix it with water. And then you only have
Okay.
that for 11 days. And then at the same time, by day 2 or 3, you do saltwater flushes, which are the worst part of this cleanse. And you drink 32 ounces of water that has a tablespoon or more of salt in it. And so it tastes like fucking awful. And then that goes straight through you and cleanses your intestines quite well. So, yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
I've
the
been
hard
taking a
part.
lot of
Sounds
The
I've
rest
been
of it's
taking a lot of
easy.
fiber.
terrible.
I've been eating a lot of fiber lately, and I took the nicest big shit I've taken in years yesterday.
That's the fiber
It was
cleanse.
it was fucking great because I'm like, dude, I don't have cancer. That's awesome.
Is that how you indicate whether you have it or not?
Yeah, because when you get colon cancer, you get an obstruction, so your shit's all messed up. So
Oh, there you go. Way to
you go
tell.
through all.
Mm.
Yeah, because like God, for the past year, I've been having some issues down there. I haven't had consistency down there in like over a year,
It's
and
fucking
so
is it long COVID? Is it like vax shedding? Like, why is everyone fucked up in the past 5 years?
I just was freaking
My
out that I
shit's
had
like
cancer.
crashed in the
I've done
past 5
like 2
years.
cycles of ivermectin. I'm on a second cycle of fenbendazole, just in case.
Yeah.
Never know, because I can't go to a doctor because this is America. I can't afford a fucking doctor, and I'm not about to ruin my credit score and go to the emergency room.
If you could afford
So
one, you can't trust them anyway, so why bother? Like, they can't
yeah,
do shit for you.
No, no,
I
no, no. You just got to pay $20 a month. That's it. You go to the doctor.
motherfucker, you
I don't
got a
think they
job.
charge
We don't
interest.
have jobs. We don't have jobs in insurance. Okay, why you man? You don't man. You got a job.
I have insurance. I have
Oh, you
Medicaid.
do? Oh,
Yeah.
man, I'm the only one who ain't got insurance. Fuck.
I went to a wedding. I ate at the wedding Saturday night. I did not eat again until Wednesday.
Oh fuck.
What?
Oh
'Cause you're
shit!
sick?
You got cancer?
No, just wasn't
You
hungry.
sure you're bald?
Oh, you did a
So I'm halfway there.
you did a water fast?
If that's what we call it. I just wasn't really hungry the next day. I just didn't feel, I wasn't hungry. And I was traveling, and then the day was over. And the next day I'm never hungry. And I'm not hungry till 2:00 in the afternoon. And then that came and I got busy, didn't do anything. And then the next day I was solo, like my wife was out of town. So I was solo doing everything. And I said, fuck, I haven't eaten since the fucking wedding.
Days.
It's like, that was 3 days ago.
People
And
usually
I was
try
fine. I
really
didn't.
hard to do a 3-day fast, but you just did it without even
Oh,
trying.
I've done a 4-day one before, and it didn't
too.
affect me at all. It was weird. I almost felt like at the end, I'm like, well, I probably should eat, but I wasn't like starving or anything.
I wasn't starving because I did the minerals, and that helps keep you satiated, and like you can drink water with minerals in it.
Cory,
But I went through all kinds of cleansing shit, like, and if you don't, I guess you're radically healthy.
well,
'Cause
I was going to say,
usually you'd
Cory,
have
you should,
cleansing symptoms.
if you don't want to go to a doctor, and who does, because they're awful, and you don't have insurance, you can go to Christian Yordanev, who's my certified health practitioner, and what he's got these tests that he can give you that they just send to your house, and you piss it, like you wake up in the morning, very first thing, you piss in the cup, stick it in this container, then you put it in the freezer, freeze it, and then you drop it in the FedEx thing that's prepaid, and you drop it off the next day after it's frozen, and then the readout gets sent to him, and then you guys get on a Zoom call, and he goes through the paperwork, and he's like, you're low here, you're good here, you're high here, you have candida in your stomach, that's what's fucking up all your gut stuff, you need to take this and these probiotics, and he'll just send them to you. Like it's the easiest thing ever.
So the
Listen to this.
combination
In
of
fact, you know what?
supplements.
Right before I went on, I'm not going to turn this into an infomercial for the guy, but he sent me this on Telegram. He said it came from a client that came from me to him, that he'd been working with him for 6 months. He said, I heard about Christian on a few of my favorite podcasts and decided to give him a try. I came to Christian with several issues, including high blood pressure and acid reflux being two of the most bothersome. For context, I'm a 43-year-old active male. During our 6 months together, I followed Christian's advice, which changed my diet and added a host of vitamins, minerals, and a few supplements. Almost instantly, the heartburn and acid reflux began to disappear. And before long, it was completely gone. About halfway through the program, I noticed my blood pressure dropping, and it continued to drop to better numbers throughout the program. Christian will provide you with so much helpful information that it may be overwhelming at first, but if you stick with it and learn it, understand it, it'll become invaluable to you. Glad to have found him. So fuck, man. There's like solutions out there that aren't a doctor that's like banging on your knee with a little mallet, you know what I mean? And go, well, look good to me. You know, you need to like have have a look under the hood and find out what's going on. Like I did this with Christian when I turned 50. And then I did a second one a couple months ago, or maybe a year ago. And it shows like everything, like 13 pages of stuff. Like stuff that you don't
I hate
even
having
know.
to experiment. Like I've been experimenting with shit for like a fucking year.
Yeah, I know.
So like one thing that's really improved, about 6 months ago, I had some leftover antibiotics, and I took 1,000 milligram amoxicillin for 5 days, and my system showed vast improvement after that, which is weird because I just did it randomly, just in case, right? But still, things were kind of fucked up. But what's kind of got me normal, or mostly normal, is like I've been taking turmeric and like beetroot and a whole bunch of weird shit, wormwood, and like I got these capsules. I got like 10 things in them, garlic, like all the weird hippie shit that I'm like, fuck hippies, right? All that shit, and it seems to be working.
See, that's all anti-parasitic, and it's all for your heart health too.
Right.
So COVID,
right.
if long COVID or spike vax shedding or whatever it is that's happening to people is actually happening to people, then our hearts are one of the places where shit is accumulating, and then the colon is the other. And so if you're taking care of parasites, if you're eating, a diet that assists your intestines in actually healing, and then if you're doing that kind of shit, herbs that support your heart and inflammation, then it's going to be helpful no matter who you are.
Right.
But if you've got a gut issue, Cory, it's fixable.
Yeah.
You just need to know which one you've got. And then because what works on one doesn't work on the other one, or doesn't work as well and doesn't work on the third one or whatever. And like when I had my mom go through Christian's program, he was like, she has two different forms of E. coli and a parasite. He like identified like very specific things. This, and this. With mine, he said, you have candida. I was like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeast.
He's like, it's pretty mild, like real mild. But you take this probiotic and just take this container, the bottle until it's done, and then you're good. So like, once you get dialed in as to what you've got, then then you just tailor make the treatment to that. And so maybe you do have cancer, maybe you don't. Let me give you not a doctor advice. Don't randomly take antibiotics though, because that shit, the antibiotic dependency, sometimes that when doctors prescribe that shit to people and they're wrong, they did it to my mom. They prescribed her antibiotics and they were wrong. And from that point on, she was not the same. She was sick that's when everything kind of kicked off in her stomach. And so then I went to look to see how these parasites and how these E. coli and how all this shit gets in there. And it's like over prescription of
antibiotics.
Well, the reason I took it was because I suspected a possible H. pylori infection. And so, because believe it or not, I know like 3 or 4 other people who've had an H. pylori infection in the last like year or two, and they ain't been to no fucking Argentina or nothing. You know what I mean? Like, where the fuck are they getting this stuff from? So just the amount of people I knew who had it was like, damn, I might as well give it a shot. And I showed improvement after that, which is interesting. But I'd say shooting in the dark here, that's the part that sucks.
Check this out. Talk about sort of like, like when it comes to supplements and stuff like that, the whole industry is like 50-50 chance you're going to get anything that works.
Right.
And even when you do, it's really kind of hard to quantify like what works, what doesn't work, you know? So I have a sponsor, and you know Ken the scientist, obviously, C60 Power, right? And I've been taking that stuff for years, right? For like 4 years. And it's like the most powerful antioxidant known to mankind. And it's like, how does it work? It's like, yes, it works. How can you tell that it works? It's like, well, it's kind of hard to know, you know, it's kind of hard to tell. So when Christian and I are going through this big 13-page document, we get to this one thing and he goes, this is weird. I wanted to ask you about this. It feels like it's a like there's been like a mistake with the testing or anything. But when it got to DNA damage, my score was so low, it was off the charts. There literally wasn't a score. And Christian thought there was a problem with the test. And I go, dude, that's probably like my C60 Power that I take. He's like, holy shit. And luckily we were recording the whole thing. I sent it to the marketing guy at C60 Power, like a 2.5 minute thing where we have this epiphany, like that's what it is. Like we figure out like, holy, that's gotta be what it is. Like I'm not taking anything else that would do that. The DNA dance, like a bar chart, right? And it's like red over here and yellow in the middle and green over there. Mine was so far in the green that there wasn't even it was like off the margin. And he's like, damn, man, like whatever that stuff is, it's fucking working. So in that case, we accidentally proved, I don't know. It's still maybe scientifically not proven, but in my mind proved that it's, you know, that stuff, you know, we found an indicator that was so low and you're just like, God damn, I mean, that is what if anything on this test would reflect it, it would be that thing right there, DNA damage. So it's like, is that important? Like, what does DNA damage do? It's like, I don't know, but I don't want it.
Yeah.
It sounds like maybe you don't want it. So
yeah, I don't like not having.
Some of it works.
I feel like I don't have access to healthcare. And if I do want to access healthcare, I'm going to incur a bill I can't afford. And then I'm going to just tank my fucking credit. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck if I got cancer. I'm not tanking my credit score. There you go.
But no, I don't.
But they're not going to fix your cancer anyway.
Yeah.
Even if you did have, the only thing they're going to do is say you have cancer, and then you can prepare to spiral out of control mentally, make the cancer probably grow twice as fast because of
just to
that.
clarify, I don't have fucking cancer, just to clarify.
No, everybody has cancer.
Right.
100% of people have cancer. It's just whether or not they find it, whether or not they think it's like something they want to treat or not. Like if you test everyone, you will find cancer in them somewhere. Nobody doesn't have cancer.
It's like I was talking to my cousin and she's like, you should get tested for all this stuff because, you know, when grandpa died, they found colon cancer in him. I'm like, how old was he? She's like, 84. I'm like, fucking who cares? Who cares at 84?
You should be so lucky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever at 84. I don't care. If I make it to 84, I'm on free time. My dad made it to 46. So as far as I'm concerned, it's anything after that is playing with house money.
Yeah,
there
I've already
are some people
outlived
who are
my
of
father.
are of the opinion that you can just be like, I'm good, and like your mind over matter, and so then you're just good.
Yeah.
And so I'm just good.
You're good.
Like, I'm good, man.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the doctor in like 15 years. I'm good. Well, Christian is the doctor, right? And he looked at it and I go, how am I? You know, if you're good, that's good enough for me, man. That's way more of an examination than the doctor's going to give me. Oh, you should probably, now you're over 50, you should probably take Centrum and go get your prostate checked.
The only time I really go is if I feel like I've got an injury. Like if I got like something injured. Like, so the last time I went and had an MRI on my knee because I thought maybe I tore a meniscus or something. Come to find out, I just got a small piece of cartilage missing in one spot. And so they drew the fluid off my knee.
That's like injury care, right? That's like a reasonable thing. You got urgent cares for that. But like, if someone asked me, like, who is your primary physician? I don't know.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, primary physician. Yeah, I don't have a primary because you know, they just give you pills anyway. You go in there, how you feeling? What you got? They give you pills. Maybe you feel better afterwards.
The pills all give you another problem, and then they give you pills for that. So it's a never-ending cycle.
Maybe. Sometimes you're okay.
The only, I mean, with the
Rare occasions.
exception
Rare.
of like, with the exception of the time that I got gout, which is crazy, but I've had it on multiple occasions, and the doctor has to give you like a prescription for an antibiotic. If I took that out of the equation, like how many doctors' prescriptions for medications have I had? Like I can't think of one ever. I don't think I've ever been on a prescription where I like had to refill a prescription. I've never done that.
I have for 10 years. That's because my thyroid is fucked.
Okay, so something like that,
Yeah.
right? So you okay, so and that's, is there a non-big pharma version of that?
No, I mean, like technically, yeah, I can just eat thyroids, like the thyroids of other animals, but like
That
the
sounds disgusting, but okay.
but you know, you do it in a pill.
Who makes
You're
that
still be
again?
taking a pill,
Pfizer
but
sounds great.
yeah. No,
I had
so the one I'm on is actually it is from pig thyroid, and it is the most natural prescription you can practically get anyway.
What's
And
it
if I
called?
were to eat pig thyroids, it's called Armor Thyroid is the brand name, and then I forget what it's called off brand. But if you just eat animal thyroids, or even if they're desiccated in a pill or whatever, and you're taking it, you just aren't sure what the dose is. So like you can do it, and people do it for sure. But it's easier, and I have Medicaid, so I get it for free instead of paying hundreds of dollars for pig thyroid in a jar.
I had
I feel
a
like
prescription to
most-
speed
Mhm.
once. When I was at the
Yeah.
sheriff's office, I was prescribed.
man.
I
Adderall.
was
Speed?
no, it was phentermine, because they
Wow.
this is so funny, because I was at the sheriff's office, right? You know, a cop, and so they had a doctor supervised weight loss program, and I was like 265. I was a big fucker. I'm gonna have to dig out my pictures of me when I was big then. But I did doctor supervised weight loss, so I had like for like 6 months, I was taking 90 milligrams a day of basically crystal meth in a pill,
Yeah.
and then going and
Oh,
arresting
good.
people.
That's just what
It
we
was-
need. Is we need
Cops on
trigger
droid.
happy, young, new to the force cops on crystal meth. Could
I
possibly
did
go
lose.
wrong.
I lost like 65
makes sense to me.
pounds in like 4 months.
Oh, speed is a fucking.
crazy.
The least I've ever weighed was when I was smoking meth all the time. I was like 105, I think, as an adult. It was retarded. I looked like a fucking
Wow.
skeleton person. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that'll do it.
It'll do it. I love it though. If you
Yeah,
talk
but,
about your weight in a doctor's office now, they're like, "Oh, do you want some? What is it? GLP-1 or whatever."
Ozempic.
Ozempic,
Right.
yeah.
No,
I'm
they
like,
don't. They
no.
don't talk about Ozempic no more. The new stuff is the GLP-1, because you've got
GLP-1
who you got Serena Williams had to take it because she was fat.
had to.
Is this a rose by any other name kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah, she was fat. I was like, hold on, you talking about like the best tennis player to ever live, right? Serena Williams, right? I mean, she was fat. I was like,
This
okay,
is
I got
gonna
Isn't she
end
a guy?
so badly. This is going to end in
No, she got this.
billion-dollar lawsuits. This is going to end with people all getting, I don't know, pancreatic cancer or
You
something.
see, where's Hitler when you need him? He
This-
just round all
no,
his
I mean, no, this is-
pharmacy people out.
This is people doing it to themselves, though. This is walking into a vanity trap. I guarantee you 90% of the people that are taking this are taking it to lose weight so they're not fat anymore. Not because
Mhm.
they have diabetes and they need to get their weight out of under control because it's reckless or anything like that. It'll be like, I just need to lose the last 25 pounds. It'll be 90% those people. And then when they all get the same sort of cancer from this, they're going to go, oh my God, I can't believe I'm so shocked. Well, I mean, I'm not wishing this on them,
So it's
It's
gonna
It's really
happen.
not hard to
I-
not be fat.
but you have to understand there is a price
don't
to
know,
pay.
man.
If you can't figure out that you're going to have to pay the piper for this at some point, like Olestra. Do we have to bring up Olestra? Remember when
That
they
was so
started making
bad.
potato chips for the Lestra, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's like these potato chips don't. I'm gonna eat 8 bags of them," and you're shitting your brains out. Yeah, there's the bill comes due at some point. So
That was crazy too, because that
Bill
was like
comes
the
due. I like that.
chirality. They changed the chirality of the fat. So like it's the direction of the molecule. So your body can't
I don't know
recognize it
what the
because it's
science
switched.
is behind it.
No, that's what Olestra is. So they switched the chirality, so they changed the direction of the fat molecule or whatever. So your body can't recognize it. So it can't see it as food. Nothing can do anything, so it has to just go straight through you. I was just like, well, why would we be eating Frankenfood where you fucked with the chirality of the fucking cell? That's like some high level tech shit that we have no idea what it'll do to our body. And everyone was just like, no fat. Like, this is so stupid. I even smoke meth all the time and know that you shouldn't eat that shit.
Man.
Come on,
And I'm
it's
so guilty of it too, because I don't know if it makes it worse, because there's one thing if you don't know that there's all these poisons in your food. It's another thing if you're like us and you know it, and then you still eat them, like my dumbass does from time to time. I try not to, but
I don't give a shit.
do,
I do not care. Like I go to
I don't
the
eat
gym all the time,
GMO
so it's like
stuff.
whatever.
To the extent that I can, but again, it's all mixed in there, and now it's called different things, and even if you know what you're looking for, if you think you know what you're looking for, it's changed to something else. It's got a new fancy name that you're not prepared for.
Oh, speaking of changing names that worked, unfortunately. Remember we had all these marches against Monsanto, and we had all this, like, everyone understands how evil Monsanto is. And then they suddenly changed their name. Bayer acquired them, so now they're Bayer. So now if you talk to motherfuckers about, like, Monsanto, essentially, they're like, that doesn't even exist. You're
Oh,
like,
so you mean
motherfucker, it's called Bayer now.
So it's like Skynet changing its name to Genesis.
Yeah, and people are like, what?
Just saying,
Genesis is fine. It's okay.
Yeah,
There is no
Genesis ain't
Skynet.
Skynet, so
problem
it's all
solved.
good.
I'm like, oh
Yeah.
wow, we're at this point where like a name change is enough to fool you. Fuck.
Yeah, it is
Fuck.
that. Yeah, and that's the disgusting side part of this whole thing, is that that during this meeting there's somebody that goes, there's a certain segment of the population that's just going to notice that Monsanto went away and think that we went out of business and forget that we're even here.
Yep.
And like that sort of like is a PR victory in and of itself.
Dude, they do it for
Like
everything. They do it for
Blackwater.
all those fake sugars. They do it for fucking all the poisons, like you were saying, they put in foods. They're just like, oh, we'll just call it Happy Time. Everyone's like, oh, Happy Time is in this cookie. It's fine.
Sprinkle Happy
There you
Time
go.
on. Do you remember Blackwater? Well, you don't have to worry about Blackwater anymore because they're not Blackwater anymore, right? They went out of business. Or maybe they changed their name and then they changed their name again.
They've had like 4 name changes. Yeah, they've had a fucking ton of them.
What are they called now?
That guy's a criminal. Like that guy
Eric
should be
Prince?
in a fucking jail cell. Yeah.
Eric Prince? Yeah.
Mhm.
He's top 100 dangerous dudes for sure.
Oh, did you see
He's
Trump talk
enabled.
shit
People like him are
to
enabled.
Mark Carney's face? Is that his name?
What
Mark
did he say
Carney?
to Mark Carney's face? Did he say,
He said, I don't know exactly what he said, but he was basically going on for like 5 minutes about how transing your children is like disgusting and horrible and evil and wrong and so bad and all this. And he has a trans kid. So he just sat there and went on and on and on about it.
I think I would probably kill myself if I was the dad.
What a shame.
No offense. I'm sure your
Yeah, but
trans whatever it is delightful.
I mean, Trump has the clear
But
cut
Cory,
moral high ground here.
Oh yeah. Well, I was going to say, Cory, about your medical stuff. I mean, if you do go to the doctor, here's what's key. All right, is that you can just pay like $20 a month, man, and be okay. They
For
can't
who?
charge interest on it.
That's true.
They can't
No,
charge interest on it.
Fuck all that.
I'm just saying, if you got, I'm just saying, like, if you absolutely
Here's
had
the
to
deal.
go, I ain't talking
If I'm gonna-
about you feeling
I
bad.
ain't worried
one
about
day.
it, because if I die like in my 50s, I'm gonna make it seem like the Mossad fucking did it, and I'll go down as like a legend or something, and my books will sell like crazy.
Dude.
Is that right?
Full of Charlie
After
Kirk.
your death. Oh man, that's a bad time to get rich. You see all these dead fuckers getting rich. You're like, hold on a second. This is a bad time for me to
Cory,
to reap what I've sowed.
Your book becomes a smash hit after you're dead.
I would hope that y'all would appreciate that for me. So
we will spend the money on cocaine and hookers, as you would rightly.
Oh, but yeah, there we go. In honor,
yes.
In honor of the powerful one. Let's see, we do this in his honor. We're gonna go old school, Viking heritage. That's what we're gonna get into.
Sure.
But it's always been funny to me how like artists like. They'll go their whole lives and be flat broken, and they'll die. And they'll be like, "Oh man, this paint's worth $1 million now." It's like, fuck, man. Why didn't y'all think it was worth $1 million when he was alive? Well, it's just, I guess the art looks better when you're dead.
Yeah,
Is
Rembrandt
that
would
when
be
it kicks
driving
off?
DoorDash, you know?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, your artwork that doesn't start looking good until you pass. Then that's when
Yeah.
it's really worth a lot of money. Then it's like, well,
That's when the
maybe my
ladies
family will be
notice
able
you
to.
after it's too late.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
That's a tough question though.
yeah,
If
all the
they're like,
women.
"Hey, you can check out tomorrow, and you will leave this massive legacy, and everyone will know your work and everything," or you can live the rest of your life, and a couple people will hurt you, and that'd be about it. Which do you
Fuck a
take?
legacy.
I'll live a long life. I don't give a fuck if anybody knows about me.
It's just
I
Usually
got
men
legacy.
are
shit to do.
concerned about their legacy. So
Yeah, that is usually the case. Most men are, which I don't know. Women are starting to be concerned about their legacy now.
dude, women
And
are
that's
all fucked
become
up now. And
Women
that's
are all
become
fucked
a
up
new
now.
thing.
Yeah, that I blame a variety of things like birth control and social media and
birth control, the destruction of the fucking family, Marxist goal
vaccines.
number 1, has
And
definitely worked, and
Are
women
we
are
talking about
fucked
the
for
Jews
it.
again?
We're
Yes.
talking
God
about
damn it.
Yeah.
who manipulated the women into the workforce.
Well, I mean, they talk about they don't want their identity to be tied directly to being a wife and a mother, and it's just like, I mean,
Well,
if you got a good gig, I mean, just stick with the gig. It's okay.
it's a
Like
fucking
if you
hard
look
gig
around in your
though.
life and you
Like,
if you look around and your life's okay, you're like, okay, I got a couple kids, I got a husband, he does well, and we do okay. But I really feel like there's something else out there for me. There's not.
There's not. Dude,
There's
there's
just
not.
ain't.
there's bullshit everywhere.
There's
You know,
everywhere is
it's
bullshit.
different. It's served to you by different people. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you got a whole different set of problems that nobody can appreciate except other people who are staying at home with their kids and how all that stuff goes. And the problem is it doesn't quantify in terms of like dollar value. But the truth is, if you had to outsource that job, it'd be a super expensive job because you'd have to
Yeah.
find qualified people that aren't going to molest your kids, right? And have a vested interest in keeping your kid. So like
Right.
the stay-at-home mom role, whatever, the stay-at-home person role, and my wife and I both work, you know, and we both work from home, but she travels on stuff, so I've got to be like Mr. Mom. It's fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
And we only have one kid who's smart and isn't banging her head against the wall or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, like is not having issues, but I think about like Brian Hooker, Dr. Brian Hooker, you know, and with his situation with his kids that had autism, and like somebody's got to stay at home with the kid, right? Now it becomes that like, fuck, what do you do?
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah. I
I
don't
just
know. Well,
also
I mean,
Stay-at-home mom is a
here,
real job. Like
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would have
Priceless.
been dismissive of it. I think my 20-year-old self, I would have been, I get that. You just sit home and watch, you know, Jerry Springer and fuck off all day, and it, you know, it's not, well,
Well, you
I'm
can if you're a
you
shitty
can,
person.
and you would be a shitty parent.
Yeah.
But if you actually are interested in your kids, then it winds up being not a 9 to 5 job. It's just it's a 24/7 job that never shuts off, and it's rough. Can you tell that
but
my
what
wife was out of town all last week, and I was I was exhausted at the end of the week, and I didn't get most of my work done either. I
Yeah.
just couldn't.
No, well, and it would be ideal if you know she didn't have to work and she got to stay home, and then it wouldn't be as overwhelming, and you know
And
that is
she
what
would
we
prefer that.
ruined. That's what we ruined in this fucking country. It's like that's almost unattainable for most people, is to have a stay-at-home person, ideally the mom. It's like not within most people's reach, and if it is, you're quite lucky, and what an honor that you get to do that. Because that kid's going to be better than any fucking kid ever was. Like we
right.
also just fucked the entirety of all children by like pushing them into the preschool, public school, all of this shit, that whole pipeline to fucking stupidity, and the death of creativity, and the death. Kids are naturally love to learn, love it. They want to know everything. They want to get into everything. They want to fucking try everything. They want to do everything. They have endless energy, endless curiosity, and they love learning. And then we stick them in these institutions and it destroys them. And then they fucking hate everything, and they hate math, and they hate science, and they think it's stupid. They hate their parents. They hate their teachers. They hate authority. They hate their country, and they're dumb. They're dumb, lazy fucktards that we
Yeah.
created. So if we get to keep our kids out of that system and do something better, like what an honor. And it
Do you know
isn't
who
easy. It's
do you know who Doug
draining to be
Casey
around
is?
children. Who?
Doug Casey.
I don't
He's an
know.
older guy. He wrote the foreword to my book with Berwick, and his co-author described him as as the most interesting man in the world, the actual most interesting man in the world, combination of James Bond, Indiana Jones, and Socrates. So
Damn.
and he's super cool, and they wrote this new book called The Preparation. It's like a big workbook. I've got it off camera. I could, um, and it's because his co-author Matt's son was graduating from high school and didn't want to go to college, and they created a 4-year program for him that was broken up into 16 3-month cycles, and each one you were doing something different. And there was criteria as far as like what you had to learn, where you had to go. It was really international. But one of the things that they did, I'll just read off a list. Um, Learned to fly a plane in Alaska, studied to become a chef in Europe, sailed around the tip of South America, learned to fight in Thailand, got licensed to operate heavy machinery in the USA, all while becoming an EMT, a cowboy, a welder, a hacker, and a farmer and
So
an
cool.
entrepreneur.
But see,
And
we
they
could
put
do
him.
that with middle school kids.
You could put anybody through a
Yeah.
program like this.
So
That's
cool.
the truth. And so the book is written by 3 people: Doug Casey, his partner Matt Casey, and Matt's son Maxim, or sorry, his partner Matt Smith, and his son Maxim Smith. And Maxim Smith is who went through the program. So I just had Doug on to talk about it. Who's fascinating. And Doug was with him. Like they flew all around the world. They went,
That's so cool.
they this kid got put through like the craziest, and had to keep a blog the whole time, had to do a daily Substack, had to do these required readings. And then there was a section called Do Fun Shit, where you were required to do fun shit inside this discipline of things. And just like the ultimate Renaissance man education system. And then the workbook itself goes into super detail about like each one of these sections. Here's all the classes that you need to watch. Some of them you can watch, some of them you need to read, but there's QR codes for everything. It shows how much everything costs. It's fucking great, man. I really was blown away by it. And if you've got high school age kids that are thinking about getting like a real education but not college, look it up, go to Amazon. It's The Preparation by Doug Casey, and it's fucking $30 book. It's worth it. It's a great book.
So cool.
And I recorded him for Macroaggressions. It'll be out in a couple of weeks. We talk about it. And Doug's like super interesting dude who like, look, those people who write books they're like, oh, this book is fiction. And then you read it and you go, is it fiction, or did you write? I mean, did you say it's fiction, but it's really about you?
Yeah.
And that's what his are like Indiana Jones style books that are happening in like gold mines, silver mines in Africa and shit like that. And it's like, Doug, you've been in the silver mine in Africa business for a while. Is this written about you? He's like, no, not at all.
Swear to God.
So, maybe it is.
Okay. Right on time. But going back to the stay at home parent, um, that was key. That was key years ago.
Yeah.
One person being able to have enough income. Cory talked about it. How they were able to make it on, what did you say, like $300 a week? Is that
Yeah,
what your dad was doing?
all growing
Yes.
up, my dad raised a family on $300 a week.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a different, economics of it all. 70s.
The mortgage payment was like $500, and then the shit was paid off. Like they paid it off like twice as quick as they were supposed to, right? So yeah, it was. Realistically, you can live in society today, really, if you made like 30 grand. You can afford an apartment, a shitty one, but you can get by on like $30,000 a year,
Yeah.
So you can still make your money stretch if you are good with
But
money.
everyone deserves Starbucks and phones and fucking trips to wherever and laying around all day playing games. Everyone deserves that. So how could they possibly make it
Well,
work?
it's so there's this misconception now, and I believe it's because of the vast amount of social media that we have, that everybody is meant to be a star.
Yeah.
So people have this thought in their mind like, oh shit, I got married early, I had kids early, and that really robbed me of being somebody. There's no guarantee you were going to be anybody. Matter of fact, your life could be way worse.
You mean like Steph Curry's
You
wife?
could,
Yeah. What a
yeah, you
whore.
could be, you could have been passed around by multiple niggas. Get out here, you not have your CEO job, and you not be shit, have 3 or 4 baby daddies, and struggling every day. So that's an outcome that could happen as well. That's what people don't realize. They're like, oh, well, I got this life, I'm constricted, I'm not independent, and if I wouldn't have done this, maybe my life would be this. It's like, well, also your life could be really shitty.
Yeah.
Like you could
Most
have made the
people's.
wrong choice, and your life could have turned out to be really ass. So we have to be careful. We've got this misconception that if I didn't do this, then my life would have turned out totally different. We don't know how it would have actually turned out. A lot of times you end up being in the same place, regardless. You know, of course, you've got things that people who jump off the side of a building, that's a life altering choice right there. You know what I'm saying? If you off yourself, that's one of those things. But a lot of times, you end up being right where you're supposed to be because of your decision making. Your decision making was always going to be similar. It wasn't going to be different.
True.
So we have that concept. It's like going back in time and trying to alter events. Well, you may delay events. I don't know if you're going to alter them though, as far as in the grand scheme of how things are going to work. So, we always have this thing in the back of our head that we could be so much more. When in reality, most of us are right where we're supposed to be anyway. Which
Yeah.
sucks. But you look at it, you'd be like, damn it.
As good as it's gonna
You know what I'm
get.
saying?
Enjoy it.
Yeah. So it's just like hey, and it's the same thing when people like I see this on my feed all the time. Oh, break free, become an entrepreneur, do this. I said, bud, everybody on planet Earth, and they up there calling people stupid. I said, everybody on planet Earth can't be an entrepreneur. That means nobody would be working for them. Like, so nothing would ever get done. Like, so when y'all come over there, oh, you're stupid, you're working 9 to 5. Well, nigga, somebody got to work the 9 to 5 for the entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's
Otherwise,
not
this don't
stupid.
work.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
it doesn't work. So, and people don't understand how much you have to invest if you're getting a project going. Like, they just look and see, the fruits of your labor. But it's like, no, there was times when motherfuckers didn't know, like, they weren't taking a paycheck. They were taking out a whole bunch of debt. They ain't know if they were going to eat next week. Like, folks don't see that aspect of it. They see it 20 years later when the shit popped off. Oh man, you got it set. Yeah, but you didn't want to see me 20 years ago. Did you want to go through that? Where I was sitting here and I had to stay in a storage unit for 4 months because I ain't had no money, and that was just it was $98 a month, so I had to stay somewhere, so I stayed in the storage unit. You didn't want to see that part of it. People just want to get to the end. But they don't want all that shit at the beginning, the middle, 3/4 of the way through, all that struggle, all the strife. If you've got a wife and kids at home, you come back home knowing that you don't have the stuff to provide for it. So, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. Everybody's not meant to be entrepreneurs.
But it's
Ain't
like
nothing
the
wrong with a little
same.
W-2 action. Mhm.
It's the same with the people think that if they just like, oh, I have an idea and I want to go and I'm going to do like a store, I'm going to make candles or whatever, and I'm going to have a candle store. And they think like just because they do it, now they are done and like it's going to be great and they're always going to have money and all they have to do is make candles or whatever. And it's like, no, there's no guarantee that any of this just people do it with me all the time. They're like, I have a book I want to write. I'm going to write a book and then I'm going to like sell it and I'm going to do it. And I'm like, it's cool. I love it. We're all here. Most of us are authors and we've been at least somewhat successful with that, which is very fucking rare. So you like go write a book and that's great. but don't write the book because you think it's going to be the thing. You write the book because you wanted to write the book. And then you're
Exactly.
cool, because then it doesn't matter what happens with the book. And if it does great, it does great. And if it doesn't do that well, it's okay because you just wrote it because you wanted to. And it's the same with all this shit. It's just, I think people think that because they do a thing, like it must succeed. Like, no, that's not all it took. It
Mhm.
didn't just take doing it. It took a lot more.
Yeah, a right place, right time, being lucky. That sometimes it's lucky situations
And a
you happen
massive
to
marketing
get in the
budget.
door.
And a
Uh,
huge marketing
And
budget if you're
one of
actually
those.
going to be
One
successful
of
with anything.
I
Yeah.
got
Hundreds of thousands
Well,
of
you gotta
dollars.
Mhm.
Mhm.
w- we had in 2002, tail end of 2002, my sports media training company, we were almost out of money, and we had this really big deal that was just about to get finalized, and we knew we were going to be good once that hit, but we needed to get from point A to that payday, and it was going to be like 8 months or so. And and I will say this because it's easy to shit on these Hollywood guys, but if it wasn't for Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, we would have been out of business because they
Weird.
loaned my business partner and I money at the right time. Actually, Ben invested, Matt loaned, or no,
I've heard they're
other
actually
way
really
around,
nice.
Ben, Matt gave, Ben we borrowed from, but and that money came at the perfect, and it wasn't a ton either. It's not as much as you might think. It came at the perfect time to get us through to that point, and the deal got done, and the entire company took off after that. And so I look back at that, and that was one of those times where it was like, it's always bad when you go to friends. They weren't my friends, they were his friends, but when you go to friends to borrow money, because it's like, oh man, it always feels kind of slimy, and it always feels like a gift or something, I guess, in the Hollywood circles.
Mhm.
It just doesn't feel good when people are asking you to borrow money, right? But in this particular case, it was like, this is what we needed. It's actually not because we have cocaine habits that you don't
Yeah.
know about. It's because we're real close to this. And here's what, and to their credit, man, they held us to like a very tight schedule and a very detailed plan as to what we were doing, make sure that we weren't bullshitting. And we went back and forth on a lot of stuff before we got it. So it was not one of those things where it was like, yeah, man, here, just go take a stack of hundreds off my bathroom counter or something like that. It was like, you got to jump through hoops and provide, like, show us what you're doing. So in that case, but running a business is fucking hard.
Yeah,
Hard.
but at that point in time, Charlie, y'all were on fucking eggshells, wasn't you? I mean, like you were just yeah, it was a tense moment.
I was
Like
bartending at night too, just to make sure that
yeah,
I was still able to do what I wanted to do. I knew how close we were. I mean,
yeah, that's
I
what.
knew what was coming, and I just knew we needed to tread water. But it was like, you know, you finding money is hard. You're in a bad position. You're asking somebody to give you money, and you have to do it in a way that's with confidence. You can't go in there like, oh, well, you think maybe you might want to sort of loan, you have to go in there like you know exactly what you're talking about. And that is not an easy thing to do, especially when you're asking somebody to give you money, especially when you think it's a lot of money. It's written all over
Oh
your
yeah,
face when
mhm,
you think it's a lot of money, because I've been in different situations where what we've asked for was a sliding scale between like, I didn't think it was a lot of money, and other times I thought, this is crazy, we're asking for way too much, they're never going to go for this. And I feel like that's written all over my face when I'm thinking that, and that it's like, they're never going to go for this. So
I met with Max Kaiser,
oh yeah,
and we had an actual sit down with him and Stacy
yeah,
and Thomas and Vortex from World Crypto Network, and we sat down and I presented him a pitch deck for the Bitcoin podcast company that we were already running. That we'd
Mhm.
already, we were doing it. It wasn't formalized at the time, but that's why we were going to him to see if he
Mhm.
would pitch us. We pitched him for this is where we shot ourselves in the foot. We pitched him for $350,000, and we never heard back from him.
You should have
If
asked
I'd
him for 3.5 million.
You're 100% correct. If I would have
That's
hit him up
crazy.
for way more fucking money. Well, here's the concept. The concept is they want to give you more than enough money for you to do what you need to do with your idea and make it successful. And that's why CEOs can get hired with a brand new company with these fucking outrageous salaries, because it's supposed to alleviate any other concerns in their whole fucking life except for that business,
That
right?
makes sense.
That's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you don't have any problems anymore because your money fucking solved everything. This is what you fucking do, right? And so they don't mind spending that fucking money if it's going to come back. And by asking for such little money, I think we shot ourselves in the foot big time.
It makes sense. It's like sound investment.
Even, yeah, it's exactly it. That's exactly how they see it. If it's too little, they're like, they recognize that as you don't know what you're doing because you should have asked for more and you should have known to ask for more, because that's
and
how
you're
the
never going to
system
get
works.
this back to us because you're not going to be successful. So, yeah.
When I was in Hong Kong, I was having breakfast with my buddy who I'd gone to college with, and he owns a video game company. And I think he's raised a total of like, I want to say like 30 million bucks or so from some big players, Andreessen Horowitz, like Silicon Valley, big one. And I asked him how many times he's gone in to pitch for money. And I don't know what I thought I don't know what I thought a reasonable answer was going to be, but he told me he was at over 175.
Wow.
Different meetings he's gone into asking people for money.
And
I
how
said,
many
God
say
damn it,
yes?
do you do anything else than that? And he goes, I spend half my time trying to raise money. Yeah.
That's wild.
It's funny because I was involved in business situations years ago when I was doing all the Bitcoin stuff, but I was too immature and didn't know enough to know how to take advantage of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that has kind of haunted me also for fucking many years.
Well, it's, I wouldn't, yeah, I understand, but there's other opportunities. You wound up in this, and this is very similar to the Bitcoin space, the alternative media. There's same sort of outlawish vibe to it. Like, I mean, not outlawish, but you're just not allowed on mainstream. You're not thought of as being mainstream. The way crypto is not thought of as being mainstream. It's thought of as like these kids with their internet money.
So we had we just had like the largest crash. Well, if you exclude the very early days of Bitcoin, when it went from like $20 to $1, right? That doesn't count. We had the biggest crash in crypto ever. The past couple days.
Would you like some statistics?
Oh, really?
Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't even looked.
All right.
No, I'm looking. Oops.
Oh, and in my opinion, this is purely manipulation. And this is the result of the ETFs getting in, the large scale exchange-based like derivatives and longs and shorts and like all that stuff. That's what caused all this.
Yeah, it's the worst liquidation event in the history of crypto. 19 billion wiped out. Doesn't mean that $19 billion is wiped out. It just means $19 billion of positions. Because the reason why these guys are getting wiped out is because they have leverage on it. But and sometimes you can get carried away and have like 100 times leverage on it. In that case, you're asking for trouble. But in the cases where people had like 2 times leverage and like automated stop, I don't know how you define it, but these things were just getting blown through. Like it wasn't even stopping it. Bitcoin dropped 8.5%, wiping out 278 billion of value in 45 minutes. 9 times worse than anything ever experienced in the crypto industry. The market was down. The crypto market itself was down 12.75%. The top 100 blue chips were down 80% in minutes. Ethereum was down 7%. Ripple was down 43%. Doge was down 50% from 22 cents to 11 cents. And then while all the forced deleveraging was happening, BlackRock conveniently bought 45,000 Bitcoin at $105,000.
I'm sure that was a coincidence. Overall. I mean, like it sounds bad, but it looks fine on my pocketbook.
What happens is I think, and Cory could elaborate on this more. If you have Bitcoin, if you own Bitcoin in a wallet somewhere, you're fine.
Yeah,
It
totally
goes
unaffected.
down, it goes up. It goes down, it goes up.
Right, and
You're not
overall,
impacted by this.
it's
This
so
is
up,
what
it doesn't
this is
matter.
what's happening when you're a trader. And
Oh.
what happened was 1.6 million traders got liquidated.
Wow.
1.6 million.
1.6 million traders got liquidated down to zero.
Dude,
Almost
that's
like 6 million?
There's not that many people trading crypto in the world. It's like a couple, like four. How many people are trading crypto in the world? 5, 6 million tops, maybe 10 million at the fucking absolute tops.
This is the hollow hoax all over again.
Maybe. Maybe.
There's not enough people to fill the numbers.
6 million
So-
traders.
Yeah.
So there's a debate right now
okay.
because it's rebounding at it's like what 115, like the charts like neutral. But there's two perspectives on this, and I've seen two. I'm leaning in the direction of the first one I'm going to say, and that this is the end of the bull run. That this lines up with the end of the previous 4 cycles, and that we should expect pretty much a bear market for the next year or so. That and I and the evidence for that is decent. If you go on past charts, which is what everybody does technical analysis on, that's exactly what's going to happen. But then again, when you look at it from a different perspective and you take into consideration things like global money supply and its increase, Bitcoin seems to follow that global money supply. It hasn't traced the global money supply as high as it should yet to get to where it needs to be, which will put it somewhere at about $180,000. So there's that mindset that that's still going to happen. I honestly don't know. My gut tells me that this is the bear market because these motherfuckers just scooped up how many Bitcoins at 105,000. They've all the money that 45. They've spent all this money over the past year or two to scoop up all the fucking Bitcoins. Where is all this money going to influx from that they're talking about? All these people have the Bitcoin already. So where's this bull run going to come from? They've been manipulating the market to fucking get Bitcoin cheap. I mean, they don't want it to go up yet, so they're not going to let it. So,
Retail hasn't even been buying though. This has been purely institutionally driven.
Bitcoin blocks are disgustingly empty. The dollar amounts are higher than they've ever been, but the number of transactions grouped in blocks are so fucking low. A lot of the Bitcoin blocks that are coming out of these pools that are full include things like inscriptions and some of the bullshit additional features. And so now we've got like the Bitcoin civil war that's been going on between Bitcoin Core and Bitcoin Knots. Bitcoin Knots is the new protocol, which is up to about 20%, 21% of adoption, which is unbelievable. So there's a lot of things going on in the space right now. It's been really fascinating. And Satoshi has returned.
Roger Ver settled his case.
Did he? Not going to jail?
Nope.
Damn.
Had to pay 42 million more shakedown, but whatever. He's done.
He's got a couple 100,000 Bitcoin. The guy can afford it.
Yeah.
It's like nothing for him.
He's good.
There was a sale of 80,000 Bitcoin earlier in the year, and he was named as
they
the
thought
person
it
who
was
did
him, didn't they?
What's Satoshi? What's his name? Satoshi Nakamura?
Yeah, Satoshi's back. So
doing
Satoshi's Nick Szabo, and Nick Szabo.
I was just reading about Nick Szabo earlier today.
Yeah,
I've never heard
he's
that.
the godfather of cryptocurrency.
This is the first time you've said that out loud. You always say you know who it is, but this is the first time you said it.
Yeah, because now it's too late. What, they're gonna fucking throw the ETFs in jail too? No,
he's back on Twitter. He just got back on Twitter. I'm following him.
And he came back because of the Bitcoin civil war.
How do you spell Szabo?
SZABO. So
he's back. Jesus has arisen from the dead. We have Bitcoin Jesus, Roger Ver, and now Nick Szabo, Satoshi himself is.
Satoshi himself is back, and the reason he's back is because this new protocol from the Bitcoin core developers, which has been replaced, all the old core developers who like built all the important shit, they're all gone, and it's all a bunch of new people who are stupid and woke, and they want to turn they want to turn Bitcoin into Ethereum, and so that's
gay.
There's there's been a couple lines of thought over the years that over time, and I kind of subscribe to this for a while, that Bitcoin and its development will be able to grow and adapt all those features. And I didn't really think it would have an impact on the chain itself. That I believe now is completely wrong. Bitcoin as a digital cash product was not meant to engage in things like smart contracts. And so these new people at Core, they want to change they've already backtracked on this a little bit, but not enough. You have a feature that was added a couple of years ago called an op return, and an op return, basically what it did was it funneled all spam transactions into like a certain place, and then it minimized the space that they could store those transactions to 80 bytes, which is next to nothing, next to no space at all. You can't store anything of value in 80 bytes. And so they want to increase that to 100 kilobytes, which is fucking massive. You'll be able to store a whole JPEG, which means you'll be able to store child porn on the Bitcoin blockchain. Bitcoin SV, what is it? Fucking Craig Wright, that shitbag. He made
Satoshi's Vision.
Satoshi's Vision, right? They fucking did this change, and on day one, child porn got uploaded to the blockchain, and fucking it caused there was people went to jail over the shit. I mean, it was a major fucking problem, and this is what they're trying to do to Bitcoin. And when you trace back the money that's flowing into the Bitcoin development, it's coming from shady people. It's coming from motherfuckers who are looking to co-opt Bitcoin. Period. Destroy it for whatever reason. But it appears that it is an extremely sophisticated state-level attack on Bitcoin, done through the Core developers, which is fucking wild. Because I've been a Core supporter forever. And now Luke Dash Jr., who is a former Core developer, he developed Bitcoin Knots, which is the alternative protocol, which basically eliminates all non-financial transactions. Gone. And so it's amazing. It's really good. But here's the problem. Luke Dash Jr., like, he made this point last week. He's the one who created SegWit. So when they were having the block size wars, Luke Dash Jr. came and saved the fucking day. And he made a very good point. He's like, look, this is the second time I've had to come up and save fucking Bitcoin. This is bullshit. If Bitcoin has to be saved by one person over and over again, it's not decentralized and it's total fucking nonsense. And fucking, this is unacceptable, right? And he's completely correct. But at the same time, he's the only person doing anything to fucking make sure that the underlying software is maintains its integrity. It's unfucking real. But that's why Satoshi came back. That's why Szabo came back. And
not
he had
because of independent media token.
I would love that, but no, absolutely not.
That's a small part.
Because I heard there was a rumor it was that's why.
They're interested.
That's a slight rumor. Just put that out there.
Someone might have said that.
Just put that out
there.
there.
So
that someone was.
Just put it,
so Satoshi's reemergence is a huge deal. Huge deal. And so
yeah, if he sees his shadow, there's 6 more weeks of shitty markets.
It's a bear market. A bear market.
Yeah.
6 more weeks. Is that the way? That is the way it works, right?
I think so.
6 more weeks of summer, some shit like that, or of winter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, whatever it is. Well, I mean, so a few folks got wiped out allegedly, but I guess you had a time. Yeah.
The stories. Did you see the stories, Corey, of the people that lost like $30 million in a day?
Man, the one that hit me the hardest was this guy was like, I'd saved all my money my whole life, and then I bought Bitcoin, and then I fucking did a 2x long on Pump Fun, and I lost mine and my sister's retirement money.
No.
It was like 150 grand. I was like,
a lot of people jumping off buildings. A lot of people shooting themselves in their Lamborghinis. There's a lot of that.
Crypto today, yeah, it is. You got 150 grand in crypto today. That's fucking retirement money. Trust me.
What do you need in Bitcoin right now to be retired?
Honestly, who the fuck knows? There's so much manipulation in this market going on, and who the fuck knows? The market's going to go where they want it to go. So who the hell knows?
That's true.
I think they're selling. I think there's going to be an influx of paper Bitcoin.
I wouldn't be surprised by that. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to figure it out. But then again, it is Bitcoin, and it tends to be a bit different than other things. And people who try to come up against it, Don't they usually learn a lesson about decent? Like China says we're going to ban Bitcoin mining, and so they stop it, and then what happens? It gets springs up everywhere else, right? So
Right.
like it's kind of hard to kill.
You can't kill it. I mean, right now there's 25,000 nodes running, and there's a
What's
dozen
it
mining.
take to run a node?
Nothing. You could go buy a mini PC for like $300.
What's the benefit of running one?
You're
You
mining
support
it,
the
right?
network. You're supporting the network,
Oh.
Do
making
you
sure it
make any
stays.
satoshis by running a node?
No, you'd have to run a miner, and even if you're not mining active Bitcoin, well, you'd have to be mining active Bitcoin, but you can make money off of mining. Yeah, so that's an alternative. I mean, you can buy a miner these days. You can buy a single at-home miner for $700-800, which isn't really bad. Odds of ever mining a Bitcoin are very slim, but believe it or not, I'd say probably once a year, some fucking jabroni with a single solo miner pops a fucking block, and the whole world fucking is like, holy shit, that happens. Like, because like now, if you pop a block, what are you getting? 3.25 Bitcoin. So you're getting like fucking
Yeah, but
400,000.
what if you don't? Then what? You're just burning energy for nothing?
Well, you're still supporting the network, and you're
Yeah, but are you
processing
getting
transactions.
any satoshis for that?
You can. I'm not an expert on this angle of it, but I think that you can set your system up in such a way to earn transaction fees. So right now, the best way to do it is through a pool. I mean, pools. If you have a solo miner, you connect to a pool, and then your hash power is thrown into the pool. So every time they pop a block, you get some Bitcoin, no matter
Yeah,
what.
it's proportionate to
So
what you contribute
right.
to the thing. Yeah. I get it.
So some of these old school guys, some of these old school core developers and the people surrounding them have a new kind of pool, ocean pool, and allegedly, I don't know too much about it, but the way that they have it set up, you can like custom tailor the transactions you want to process and a whole bunch of other features. And it seems that you can be running like single solo miners and people are still making money. So they have a different model on how they pay out. So I'm looking into possibly if I have an extra little bit of money, thinking about getting involved with that.
Nice.
But I know people who've set up miners before and they're like, it's the biggest pain in the ass in the fucking world. The pools suck.
Right.
So even years ago, and when Bitcoin was like $5,000, right? It was like you were burning fucking $1,000 a month to make $100. It was like painful unless you
I would just
understood the long
buy
term.
Bitcoin and not fuck around with that. The last thing in the world somebody like me needs is for the machine to not be working. And then I look at it and go, I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
But that'd be it to a T. All right. So let's jump over because me and Cory talked about this on Thursday, but I want to know y'all's thoughts on the alleged ceasefire.
Peace in the Middle
Gaza,
East.
Israel. Yeah, Lindsey and Charlie. We want to know y'all's thoughts on that.
I'll believe it when I see
Trump
it.
has a 20-point plan. No, this
holding
is
my breath.
That plan is fucking weird. Did you guys read this shit? There's
No,
a whole
what is that
section of
plan?
it that's like one of the points is like this will be a technocracy. They don't even mince words. They're like this will be a technocracy that will now govern, Gaza, Palestine area, whatever, and it will be run by I don't remember what they call it, but like a board of peace or something like that for all these like interdenominational and international leaders or whatever. But who's the head of the board of peace, if that's what it's called? Trump. So Trump's now the leader of the technocracy that is running Palestine. I'm like, this is the weirdest
This is all
fucking
like
peace plan ever
I'm gonna
made.
run this.
This is all theater. This is all
Yeah.
theater. You see, these Jewish motherfuckers, they just gonna keep bombing shit as soon as they get a chance. And they've already said that. They said, as soon as we get the hostages back, we're gonna bomb these motherfuckers. They already said it.
It's a 20-point peace plan.
Like, shut the fuck up. This is bullshit, is what it is. This is the same old fucking Jewish lies. End of story.
Hold on, man.
If it works,
Do
though,
I have
it'll
to show
fulfill
this to the
prophecy.
people?
So,
I have to show this to the people. Here we go. Look at this.
Yeah, find the technocracy part. It's like
let's
15
see.
or something.
A lot of this has to do with hostages.
It's so weird.
Yeah, hell, the most
Temporary
of this.
transitional government of a technocratic, apolitical Palestinian committee. 0.9.
Oh, was that it?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Board of Peace.
Hey,
I
there
was
it
right.
is.
It's called the Board of Peace, and Trump will be the head of the Board of Peace. It's so prophetic. It's fucking. Did they plan this shit all along?
The Board of Peace managed by the
Hey,
Department of War.
Yeah.
hey, but they did say that Gaza will be redeveloped for the benefit of the people. I mean, come on
Yeah, and
now.
they're like, they get to stay there, and they get to whatever, and I'm like, okay, but is it going to be the same? Like, yeah, you can stay here, but we're gonna like throw goat feces at you and like shoot your children in the head. But you can stay here.
Yeah,
You
but they
know?
got a plan to rebuild and energize Gaza. Okay,
Oh,
they
energize
doing
And
both.
well,
They're
Yeah.
using
that's with
energy
cattle
weapons.
prods.
energy weapons. Cattle prods, yeah.
I mean, they're gonna have a special economic zone that will be established with preferred
Which, let
tariff
me
and
guess,
access rates.
will benefit a
Trumptown.
certain religion.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
fucking
we
wake me
don't
up when
know
Iran
that.
starts blowing them up again.
So
We don't know
listen to
that. They
this,
ain't gonna do.
Corey.
They ain't gonna do shit neither.
Corey, I heard. You know who Alex Cranier is?
I do not.
He's a economist. He does he's got the Naked Hedgie. He was a hedge fund guy out of Monaco, and I've had him on my radio show, my podcast. He's super interesting guy, really smart, knows his shit inside and out. I was watching him on another show talking about the Israel a couple weeks ago when Israel and Iran had the missile exchange where Iran was doing some damage there. He said that the type of missile that the Iranians shot at the Israelis, that one missile took down 28 buildings.
What?
And that the Israelis were like, we got to fucking stop this. We can't have this. Like, we didn't understand what
So
they were
why are they
capable
saber
of.
rattling? Why all the saber rattling? Why are they going to do this again? Like right now, China and fucking Russia are arming Iran to the fucking hilt.
I know. And if they're going to use this technology that Alex mentioned, they'll level Tel Aviv.
Well, that's what the Iranians said. They said if this shit starts up again, there will be no more Zionist state.
They ain't gonna do shit. They look. They ain't gonna. None of these
they
niggas
might-
gonna do nothing.
I don't like your attitude.
I'm just giving you the real, man. Because if they were going to, they would have pulled their dick out a long time ago. But we know all of them got pussies. All right, the entire world.
Well,
Because otherwise, why couldn't you just flatline it? You right there near it. What Russia waiting on? What China waiting on? What Iran waiting on? Flatline it. Flatline it.
well,
They've been a thorn in your
let me
ass
tell you
all
that.
these years. What you waiting on?
Let me play devil's advocate on this one and say
Okay.
that sometimes you gather a ton of information about the enemy in one of these pre-attacks, and that maybe they are planning on doing something about it, where they're going to launch the real attack. But they gained a lot of information, or Iran gained a lot of information about Israel in their first week-long attack against them. They learned that the Iron Dome ain't shit, right? That was billed as this impenetrable fortress that was going to prevent everything, Jewish space lasers and all that shit. And what they learned was that that's bullshit. They learned that Israel does in fact launch missiles from civilian locations disguised as non-military, right? But they pull the missiles out because they had technology that was coming in and was looking to see where the outbound Israeli anti-missile fire was coming, and then it was targeting that and blowing it up. And that's part of the reason why it was hitting civilian buildings, was because the fucking the Iron Dome missiles were in civilian buildings. And you can watch it on video. You can watch them getting launched from civilian buildings, and then you can see something that recognizes where it comes in, and a missile comes in and takes that whole thing out.
Wow.
It's like, dude, the Israelis got an education on this as well, which was, they have better shit than us. And so they better be careful with this. I mean, listen, I am glad that they didn't start the actual war. I'm glad that they pushed out and didn't do that, because I don't want war. And it's just bad for everybody. And a bunch of kids are going to get killed, like a bunch of Israeli kids are going to get killed too. And a bunch of Iranian kids and a bunch of, just a bunch of people that shouldn't be hurt are going to get hurt. But Israel is going to fuck around and find out with these missiles. And if that's the case, it doesn't take much to knock out all their water, all their electricity, all their airports, put holes in all the runways, shut down their air travel, knock out all their ports. You could do all that shit in a night. Israel's the size of New Jersey.
Yeah,
and it looks like Russia has a direct connection to. What's that fucking sea north of Iran?
Caspian?
The Black Sea?
Caspian? Yes. Yes, the Caspian. It looks like fucking the Caspian connects Russia and Iran. So they could be funneling them shit all day long.
Through Azerbaijan?
Yeah, mostly unobstructed. Yeah.
Underwater tunnels.
Well, just on boats. They just put the shit on boats and send it there, like all day.
But underwater tunnels are way cooler, dude.
but everybody funnels each other's shit while trying to get an angle. Like nobody likes each other. Like let's get this straight.
It's true.
Nobody likes anybody. Okay, I mean, at the end of the day, we do business, and all this other stuff. But I'm just kind of waiting for the moment I can put this blade in you, all right, and it'd be okay. You know what I'm saying? Everybody collectively say, is it good? We can take them out now? Okay, good. It's kind of like, the mafia, made men. You never kill a made man unless, the consensus says, okay, we can kill the made man. So, I mean, that's what it is. That's what all these countries are. They just, oh, yeah, we're cool. Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to fuck them. I mean, that's it. Yeah, I mean,
we're allies until we accomplish a goal, and then I'm coming for you. So
yeah, and then I wrap the chicken wire around your neck. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the bathroom, I mean, it'd be just like that. So I don't know the likelihood, because it's been so long, and ain't nobody really got up in there. Like really got up in Israel. Like I'm coming for it. And I just don't see it happening. Because I don't think that people have the belief that they can do it.
I think the mystique is gone from Israel.
Maybe.
I think that the Iron Dome failure showed the world that they're all talk, and then they start to look back on that and they go, wait, Israel does talk a lot about their Iron Dome, don't they? They talk a lot about it. Almost to the point where you think that they're trying to make you think that it's better than it really is. If they actually had an Iron Dome, given the fact that how the Israelis operate, they wouldn't mention it at all, don't you think? Don't you think it'd be the last thing that you'd hear about is the Iron Dome if it actually really worked? The fact that it's broadcast about how great the fucking Iron Dome is, and it's on 60 Minutes, and do we need one for ourselves and all this stuff? Well, we just saw a dress rehearsal, like a couple day limited engagement, and it failed miserably. And it's expensive. And you can flood the zone with drones and get it to spend $1 billion in rockets trying to shoot them all down. And you can do that every Thursday for the next year until they get tired of paying for them or can't build them anymore. And then they don't have an Iron Dome anymore.
It's like the people who talk, and you're like, well, that's the weak motherfucker. And then the motherfucker in the corner who's never saying a word, you're like, that's the guy you got to watch out for.
Like, who's quietly taking his watch off and handing it to his girlfriend. I go, ooh, that dude's gonna beat everybody up in here.
Plus, if a motherfucker comes up to you and just talk, like just punch him in the face while they're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Done. This is the weakest people and the easiest people to take out.
The peacock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's a disgusting time to be watching what Israel's doing. And I have a macroaggression episode coming out on Wednesday that is going to be about as hard in the paint as I've ever gone on Israel, and with good reason and receipts.
None of this would happen if everyone just listened to Hitler.
It's true.
Yeah, but it doesn't line. Yeah, but it doesn't line. Here's the thing, though. It doesn't line up with divinity, with the divine nature. And I understand what you're saying. It's like, oh, it's not the same. But people hold on to the divinity of what is Israel. They
I
do.
don't get it, actually. Why do Christians like Israel? Why do Christians care about
Because
Jewish people?
it's God's chosen people.
Why wouldn't Christians think they're God's chosen people? Like,
It's
I don't get it.
opportunity as far as I'm concerned.
No. It's because it strictly says in the Bible that you're not.
Isn't that the Old Testament?
It's in there. No, it's still
Talmud.
strictly in there that you are not.
So
Bullshit.
who wrote this Bible?
It gave you no, hold on. It gave you a path. Okay, so Jesus gave you a quote unquote path to get to heaven, which you wouldn't have that path if you were not an Israelite. That path, you wouldn't have any path. Gentiles didn't have any path. That's what they called everybody outside of Israel. You're
This
pretty much Gentiles.
Feels like a book that should be the Jewish book, not the Christian book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so
In the
So-
Christian book,
Mhm.
shouldn't you be the right religion, in the right path, and on the path to see God, not talking about the other guy, the other team, like how great the
See,
other
that's
team
why
Not
there's
when-
there's
not
the
when
theory
God
that
chose Israel.
Christianity was created by Jews as a trap mechanism.
Maybe.
Yeah, but if you actually look, I know there's the whole thing, whatever, Jesus never existed or whatever, but if you look at him as though he did exist, and then you look at what is actually going on, like, he never says shit about Jews. He's not Jewish, and then Jewish people kill him. So, like, even if you actually believe in Jesus and his words beyond the Bible, you would not just be like a Jew lover. I don't care if you love Jews or not. It's like none of my business, but I don't understand why it's just embedded in most
Well, you
Christians'
see-
reality.
Well, you see, what's crazy is like, okay, we say his words. Technically, Jesus never wrote any book.
No.
This all
Yeah, it's
recounts
all
from other people.
secondhand. No, and
Yeah,
then it was
it's
gathered up in the
second-
Council of
Mhm.
Nicaea by a bunch of motherfuckers who were trying to control everybody. So who knows what's even left? But
Yeah,
there's
who's-
plenty of
who-
there's plenty
yeah,
of
mhm.
documents outside of the Bible of Jesus's work, especially in the East, where they have him also as an ascended master, that they recorded his whole life and everything that he said too. So there's actually tons of accounts that are extra biblical that also reinforce everything that did make it into the Bible and more. Right? So
Mhm,
there's
yeah.
this. So like if you were an actual follower of Jesus and not necessarily a follower of the Bible, I don't think you would just automatically love Jewish people. I think
It's
I
just-
mean, you
it's
love
interesting,
everyone or
yeah.
not, whatever, but you wouldn't be like just Jewish,
Right.
like with this thing that you had some sort of allegiance to.
What
Yeah,
if it
but
was
they-
the
but,
Schofield Bible?
Mhm.
I don't know what that is.
Isn't the Schofield Bible the one that was influenced by the Zionists?
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh,
Yes.
And that's the one. It's like, oh, you guys, what about the Jews? They're the best. Don't you? What? How about for the Jews?
oh yay, Jews!
Well, I
That's
mean,
that version
strict.
of the Bible.
That's their
Well,
version of Jesus.
in the Bible, Israel, they act up all the time. They
Yeah,
cut
they're
up a lot,
bitches.
but it's still God's chosen people. Like at
Yeah,
the
that's
end of the
bullshit.
day, it's like, hey,
Why?
when you go over
Why,
there to
though?
Canaan, make sure you
And
fuck them
Jesus
up.
never says that God is his
According
God
to
that he's
who,
talking
though?
about. And he never says everybody love the Jews, they're the chosen one. Like none of that.
Yeah, that sounds like some bullshit that people would make up. It sounds like some bullshit the Jews made up.
So I think
Like we're the
The-
chosen people. Well,
the
Yeah.
two-
it's by who? Who says who?
We said so.
That
God said
God.
so.
You go.
I-
Yeah, I'm gonna need more than that.
Like every
so I
cult
think
leader.
that I think should be put in a different context, because if you think of the people at the time who came up with the religion, they were slaves, right? They were slaves. They didn't know a life outside of subservience. And so when it came to them being God's chosen, to me, it jumps off the page as something like what parents would tell their children to give them a fucking sliver of hope. Don't worry about what's going on here. We're God's chosen people. He'll take care of us, right?
Yeah.
That's how I envisioned that started, because that's the only thing that makes fucking sense.
Positive
know-
self-talk.
Yeah. The best
And he-
What do you
affirmation
mean?
ever.
I mean,
Well-
I'm
they
not
see
chosen.
Moses part the Red Sea, man, or part the sea. I mean, they went out there, man.
That's some Joel
Bam, you know what
Osteen
I'm
shit
saying?
right there, man.
That thing
There was
opened
a
up.
testimony.
You don't feel no more chosen than when the sea opens up for you.
That's
You
true.
walk on dry land.
Listen, I'd feel.
I mean,
yeah,
hell.
I'd if I went out back and the ocean or some pond parted for me, I'd have a pretty
I'm pretty
inflated
damn
sense of
chosen today.
myself after that, I believe.
I like the take too that they had like ancient tech that they found or whatever, right? And it could like part seas and like do all this shit and like blinding flashes of light.
So
and
you're saying
everybody
that
fucking
they've had
died.
Jewish space lasers for thousands of years?
Jewish
knew
space
it.
lasers in
Okay,
antiquity.
so here's what you don't know. All right, here's what you don't know. People try to put this timeline into like 2,000 years or whatever. Here's what you don't know about the time. You don't know what their technology was. You've got no clue at all. Zero. Because they talk about people living 800-900 years and shit like that. Like
For real.
you ain't got a clue what was going on back then. All you
Dude,
know
I
is
don't
what
know. I
some
don't have a
folks
clue what was going
wrote
on during the
down.
World's Fairs of the
Right.
early 1900s. I certainly don't know what's going on 2,000 years ago.
And they work real hard to hide our antiquity and our ancient shit. Like Göbekli Tepe is still not fucking unearthed. I went there when it was near to when it was discovered, or starting to get bigger, at least in 2012, and still no one really even knew about it. And and like the pictures I took of it then are exactly the same as what you would take today. Like nothing's happened in 13 fucking years.
Why?
Yeah.
You were trying to go to the moon, and we're trying to, in Mars and all this stuff.
Don't
Let's
look
go to
at Earth.
let's go to Turkey first, and let's
Yeah,
go
dude.
figure out what was going on there. Why are they in such a huge hurry, or why is it a priority for them to
Keep it hidden.
obfuscate? Or, same thing in Cairo too. I would imagine that you don't get. I mean, as long as Zalia Was is in charge, you don't get a lot of opportunities to challenge the narrative, right? Is that
Yeah.
what are they afraid of in Turkey?
Uh-huh. Yeah, we get it worldwide too. So it's obviously like it's like Antarctica. It's like an international treaty
Right.
was signed to like don't tell anybody shit about things before 10,000 or 12,000 years ago.
Feels like it, yeah. Huh.
Exactly. So it's like when they were talking about shit underneath the pyramids or whatever, that supposedly they seen with sonar or whatever the fuck they were doing, their red light or whatever. And then it just got hushed. Ain't nobody said nothing else about it.
But what's crazy too is that even Egyptians said, "We found these things here. We don't know who made them."
Yeah, they ain't built
They
that
said
shit.
that about themselves 4,000 years ago. So, like, if they're
Yeah.
saying that 4,000 years ago, and people are like, "You're so racist if you think Egyptians couldn't have built the pyramids," and I'm like, "No, I'm just listening to the Egyptians. Aren't we supposed to listen to the oppressed people about what they say about
Them,
themselves? Come on, guys."
them light
Do they
skinned
have
niggas
any-
can't build that. Just tell them that. Them light skinned niggas ain't built nothing.
Just can't build shit.
Them high yellow niggas out there ain't
So,
built no
I-
pyramid.
I'm not an Egyptologist, but are there like any records of them saying that they built some shit?
No, I mean, yeah, the what are they called? The fucking guys at the top, the pharaohs will say, "Oh yeah, we built this." But like the people
Oh.
before the pharaoh were like, "No, we didn't. It was already here." So if you actually go back and far enough, you can find all of these records that say it, but for some reason we're supposed to ignore all of those.
Yeah, Lindsay, have you ever had Josh Sigurdson on your show before?
No.
From World Alternative Media. He's a Canadian guy. He moved to Egypt. He lived there for a couple of months and spent a lot of time at the pyramids. And
Super
he's a
cool.
fascinating guy. Anyway, I just wondered if maybe
I
you'd
would love
cross
that.
paths
No,
with
I
him.
haven't. I would love to go there, and I would love to bring some sound tools or like sing inside of it, because supposedly there's a lot of like harmonic, really fucking weird shit that happens if you hit like certain notes
Oh
when
yeah,
you're inside, which is really interesting.
it's all
Almost like it.
blacked out in there. And I don't know if it's the King's Chamber or Queen's Chamber where we went into, but it's all blacked out. I mean, it looks like the equivalent of someone taking black paint and rollering black paint on the inside. So it's
Weird.
already like you're in an enclosed tomb, but it's rolled black, so it feels smaller than it is. It's hard to get
And I
your bearings
wonder-
of how big it is.
why they did that. Like, what what would
I
be
don't
the
know.
point of amending what you found? Like, why not leave it as it was?
I
The
and
other
I don't
thing-
know. I don't know if they painted it. I don't know if it's part of it, but I just remember it was black, like black.
And so the other thing I learned is that hieroglyphics, you know, when you have them on those like big walls, I don't know what those are called, but where you like have the huge text that's up on the carved into the wall and whatever, that it reads in every direction and it reads the
Oh,
same
really?
message in every direction. So you
Oh,
can
I
read it
didn't know
left to
that.
right, top to bottom, right to left, bottom to top, like any direction you want, and you're still reading the same message. Like, what the
Wow.
fuck technology does that? We can't do that. Motherfuckers can't do that. AI might be able to do that, I guess. You can't do that.
Like a
That's crazy enough
wild
that shit
anagram,
that we
like a
can't.
3-dimensional anagram.
Yeah, or what's it called when you can read like race car? It's the same back and forth,
Yeah.
whatever that's called. Yeah, it's like that on crack.
Wow.
I was like, why were we I was never taught that. I learned this last year. I've been interested in Egypt my whole life. Like, why don't people know that?
Yeah, but that's not something that's interesting. That's not something you need to know.
Don't
Like,
worry
you
about
just need to
it.
know that there's pyramids out there, Egyptians built them, and yeah, I know what you're thinking. Who carried those heavy ass rocks? It's a bunch of people. They wetted the sand. That's what they did.
Slaves.
Logs.
And
They
it,
rolled
yeah,
logs.
yeah, yeah. They wetted the sand and they slid those heavy rocks on top of other rocks, which would have caused a bunch of friction, which would have made it hard for them to slide it up there. Maybe they put sand down there too.
And
It
those are
take them
big
it take
enough.
them 4 weeks to get sand and damn,
Jesus.
it
And then
wet
the
it up.
stones come from like thousands of miles away or some shit too. And you're like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
actually?
I would have swore I saw a fucking YouTube video with a guy who astral projected to the pyramid when they were building the pyramids and said that he saw these like floating machines that made the fucking rocks float in the air.
Yes, they
Not
have
that I
sound
believe in that
levitation
shit.
shit. So this is what's crazy too. You can read this also in ancient texts, and especially in the East, again around like India and where they had the Vedas and all that shit. They have texts of I guess basically machines, things they used where they would speak into it and it would levitate stone. So they had that recorded. Supposedly people also had like actual video, and video was just starting of some of the monks who still could do it doing it. I don't know if you can find that somewhere, but that's all recorded. That's what they said they did. And again, like, aren't we supposed to believe people? Aren't we supposed to believe all especially oppressed people and brown people and whatever the fuck? So why don't we believe those people
They,
when they say
they
that
won't
they did
quite
that?
they won't quite brown. They won't quite brown.
They weren't brown enough to be believed.
They were brown like yeah. There's different
God.
shades depending on the shade of brown you are.
So and
You might be
then
just a little bit too close to the white.
Coral Castle in Florida. So it's not
Yeah.
nearly as like monumental, but it's still pretty fucking crazy that a tiny man, if you see how big Ed is, he's like 3'9" or something. He's like a tiny little fucking guy. And he built this essentially megalithic structure, and nobody knows how, but that's one of the stories too, is that people snuck up in the night when he would do his building and they like hid and they watched him and he was levitating them somehow. And they said he had something that made sound that he would hold to his lips, and then when he took it away the stone would, settle. So I don't know, maybe that's a bullshit ass story, but it's weird that it seems to match what people in India have said about them building megalithic structures, and also some indication of the pyramids too. Because we don't have any fucking way to move any of that at all. We couldn't do a fucking lick of it. We can build a giant skyscraper, but we cannot move megalithic stone. We
Yeah,
don't have
but we
any
can't
equipment.
build a giant. We can't build a giant in no skyscraper. If you think about it, if you go biblical, they were building the Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
They were building it to the point, and so within that story, everybody at that point in time were unified. The one point in time where you had unity, they said, "Oh hell no, pimp! Let me fuck y'all's language up and scatter y'all across the world. Oh, you getting a little bit too close, dog. The one time we
Yeah.
want unity, right? No, we don't. Not in not even the Bible wants unity.
I would say if something that they're saying God did that, I would say that's not God, that's a demon. Who's like, "Oh, you motherfuckers are getting too much unity. Fuck your
Whose
Yeah.
God are
language."
demons,
Yeah,
Cory?
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
Whose God are demons? Which religion has gods that are demons, Cory?
All of them.
Judaism.
Okay.
Judaism, true. Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah,
what's the
so
other one?
there it
The
is.
Hindus? And Hindus
Synagogue
got
of
demons?
Satan. Actually, they do. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know
they
that
do
they call
too.
them that, but they have like the dark goddesses or whatever, dark gods and goddesses.
No, it's probably. Oh, I was about to say, if you said dark goddesses, it's probably because they want to fornicate with them. That was always one of the things that I seen too. It's like, oh yeah, the angels came down from heaven and fornicated with the women. That's how they had dicks.
Whatever comes
They
down,
had a
we're
holy
always
dick.
trying to fuck it, aren't we?
Yeah, it's like, hold on.
Can
So
I
they
fuck
had like
it?
holy
Aliens
dicks.
come
Is that what it
down.
is? I mean,
Gods come down. You know,
Dude, and the people are
I
like,
don't
yeah,
leave it up
take
to
my
guys
daughters.
trying to fuck it.
I've got 3 of them over here. You can have them. You're like, what kind of dad
yeah,
are
but
you?
but I wouldn't think that the body type wouldn't be like there'd be no reason to go have sex, right? That like sex wouldn't be a thing, but for some reason these particular ones like, yeah, let's go down there and fuck. I'm like, what?
Listen,
Are y'all
Again,
fucking up there? I
pretty sure
mean,
those were demons. Pretty sure you're not fucking angels. Whatever that is, you should probably stay away from it.
well, angels and demons are the same thing.
They are. That's when
Technically.
people are like, they're like talking to angels. I'm like, you should be careful. Whatever you think you're doing, you should be careful with it.
It's they're the exact same thing.
I've seen
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. I know
You know,
That's right.
tricky devils.
they can turn on you
Hey
quick.
guys, first.
1 minute,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a
it's pretty
nice
good.
looking lady floating across your balcony. Next thing you know,
Eating your face.
it's eating your
She's
face.
sucking your life essence out, sucking the
Yep.
shine out, like in Doctor Sleep. So we're gonna wrap up this week of Day Zero. We appreciate everybody for being with us. Let's go ahead and let's go through the panel. We're not gonna go with Cory because I'm gonna do his. But Lindsey, you can go ahead and go.
You can find my books, all the shows, everything I do at roguesoul.org. And that's all. How you should do a master
Okay.
cleanse. I'll teach you how. Go to my Substack, rogueways.substack.com.
There it is. There it is. Charlie, let them know something.
Oh, go get my audiobooks if you're interested. Why not? If you're somebody that's got like an Audible subscription or Spotify and you get like a certain number of them, grab it. Hypocrisy and Octopus of Global Control, 23 hours, almost 24 hours of the guys from Grimerica in your ear hole. So check that out. Macroaggressions.io, activistpost.com. Thank you.
There we go. Of course, CoryHughes.org, bloodyhistory.substack.com, Warner from History, JFK book, Lee Harvey Oswald in Black and White, Volume 2, soon to be released. Early 2026. That's what we're expecting. And also we're going to be doing a show where Cory speaks about the crypto scams.
Oh, for Independent Media Token, we're gonna do a show on.
Yeah, for
whenever you
Independent
can.
Media Token. Yeah. So be on the lookout for that, guys. We'll have that, and Cory's gonna bring his expertise. All right, and if it's the first time you heard Independent Media Token, Solana's down a little bit, so go get you some Solana, okay, and then transfer that into the Independent Media Token. You do that via the Phantom wallet. So we appreciate everybody for being with us today. We'll catch y'all next week for Day Zero.